Hopefully y'all can see my screen okay. NSPB, why is this stuck? What comes it up? Go to Tori, go to speedtest.net. Go to speedtest.net and see what your download speed is. It shouldn't be. My stream looks like it's going okay. Nobody else is lagging on the stream at all? Everybody got on the stream? Yes, maybe. No lag on my end. Well, hey, it's Spidey. Well, hey, let's get 40. Damn, Spidey.
Welcome, Spidey.
Put that away, bro. How you doing, Sid? Thanks for coming by on the raid. I'd be you dragon for sure, or a blue whale. Why is it like? I have no idea why it's like.
Science Wolfbeard. You're meowsome.
I give up why it's like. Dragon on the ground behind me. That's awesome, man. That's hilarious. Did already. Let me do it again. I'll tell you the number. Okay, sounds good, Troy. All right, guys. Again, this is a beginner's course for Davinci Resolve. If you want to learn how to video edit it, this is the place to be. Today, we're going to go over the basics of this. This is a beginner's course. Again, I just want to get it out there that I'm not a professional on Davinci Resolve. I'm more intermediate to advanced on Davinci Resolve. It is a free download. In fact, let me give you guys that website right now so you guys can go grab it if you don't have it or never heard of it before. There's the URL for that. It is a free download and you actually get a pretty robust video editing software for free, which really blows my mind. You can pay for a pro version, which I have myself. So you might see some things today that you might not be able to do, but it's all going to be like in the same area and whatnot. Thank you for the look, Chufasa. I appreciate it, buddy. So there's that. And again, guys, I'm not sponsored. Don't click it. It's porn. It's porn in a virus. It's a porno virus. I'm not sponsored today by Davinci Resolve. I just love their software. I know a lot of people use it for video editing. And again, guys, if you really want to get further in streaming, you need to be able to know how to edit video. And it's actually really, really easy, believe it or not. It's actually really, really easy. So we're going to start today just by looking at the overall thing here, the overall window, the starting window here. And actually, back that up a little bit. Now we're going to go look at the overall window here. It's the first tab down below. This is your media tab, okay? And this is where Davinci Resolve is going to keep track of all your stuff is that you want to bring in to edit. And you can bring in anything. You can bring in images. You can bring in sound. You can bring in video. You can bring in all sorts of different things that let you add in. If it tells you, the output speed, you've been for like a minute now and Discord won't load. That's weird. Since you can't hear me, since they're frozen. That's really weird. It should not be frozen, obviously. I'm not sure what's going on there, but couldn't tell you. I don't know what's going on there, Tori. I'm sorry. I try to restart and see if that works. Usually fixes a lot of different things with PCs. You guys know how it works. See if that helps at all. So this is the beginning of Davinci Resolve here, guys. This is, you can see in the upper left hand corner here, get your media storage. It'll show like where you have like you can specify where you want files to be at, or you can browse your hard drives to look for your video files and whatnot. And in this window right here, the window right next to that file list, it's where all the files are going to be shown. Okay, so anything you want to use in video and whatnot, or anything you drag into the onto the timeline or such, will show up here. Okay, it's very easy to come back to this and grab stuff you need to. In fact, it'll show in other screens as well. So I'm going to show you guys an example of that. So I'm going to bring in one of my media clips here, and I'm just going to literally, it's just a bring this over here real fast. Literally just drag in a media clip. It's an NKV file. Boy, I love Davinci. Davinci is amazing, isn't it, Chris? I love it too.
You're awesome.
I think people need to use it more. It's such a great, especially for what you get for free, which really blows my mind. The way you get for free for this game is amazing. For this software is amazing. All right, so This is a recording from my Twitch stream. Okay, I'm just gonna bring this over into Davinci. Okay, I'm gonna drag and drop it over here. And it's loading right now. It's gonna take a second. Oh God, I grabbed everything. Well, I did not mean to do that. Well, now it knows where all my stuff is anyway. That's cool. That's cool. Well, it's got all my stuff in here now, which is awesome. Let's turn out the Fusion page. Making out. Yeah, that's a lot of fun stuff you can do in this. Isn't cool. So, I'm on my video. It grabbed all my everything in my video folder, which is fine. Didn't need it to, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take the clip I actually want and drag it down here into the media pool. Okay. So that's where your clip is going to show up down here. Whoops, I didn't mean to roll over that. This is where the media, all your stuff is that you drag in to edit your clips. So I was a little bit wrong there. This is actually the folder screen up here. Woo, I'm wrong about stuff. Yeah, already, right out of the gate. It's cool. And down here is where all your files are that you'll be editing in this video, specific video clip. Okay. As you can see here is my one video clip here from the cooking stream I had this last Sunday. Actually, this might be one of my older ones. This might be the one where I cut my thumb because it has arc graders after that. Well, either way, there you go. So it's right out of the gate. It's pretty easy. And it'll show you the information about it down here on the right-hand screen, where it's what the FPS is, et cetera, et cetera. All the information down below it, right down here. Your sound and whatnot, how many, if you scroll over, it'll show the different monitor the sound and stuff like that when you roll over and whatnot. And it'll show you a bit of a preview window right here. The start. You can play through this if you want. I'm not going to because it's a 3-hour long clip. But yeah, there you go. This is the starting screen right here for Davinci. Right here. This is where you're going to start, guys. Everything's going to begin here. Don't turn it. There's a lot of menus going on up here. Try to ignore all those for right now. You're not going to be dealing with them at all. For the time being, and we're going to get just move into the next tab or how I do things. And again, guys, like I said, I'm not an expert in Davinci. Bought the premium edition a while back. Oh, dude, I bought the premium edition too. It's awesome. The AI features alone are badass, especially when it comes to sound. All right. So the next tab over from the media pool is the cut pool. And again, the screen's going to shift a little bit, and it's going to show your thing up here, all your clips and stuff that you brought in for this project. I don't really use this screen that much, so you can come in and drag this down here. You can start cutting here if you want. I don't really like using the screen that much. I like to go to the next one. That's my personal thing. So I don't use this one very often, so I can't. I know, right? Tell me about it. And it's not really not that bad. I can't remember how much it costs. It's Davinci. I think the Pro version is. I know it's in that link I sent. It's gonna find it now. $300. $300, which is actually pretty cheap for an actual pro editing video software, in my opinion. Yeah. So I don't really use this tab that much, so I'm not going to go into this one very much. You guys can explore here if you want. I'm going to go into the next tab. This is where I exclusively do pretty much everything. Okay. This is the down below. This is the cut tab, or not the cut tab, the edit tab. Okay. It's the third tab over from the left. And this is where I finish edit to someone that pays for it. I know, right? Tell me about it. No kidding. See, this is what your window should look like now. If you brought in a video clip, if you didn't bring in a video clip, that's totally fine. You have your you're fine, Chris. No worries at all. Guys, ask the questions, make the comments, please. This is back and forth. I hope for all you guys. And Chris, if you have any, like I said, at the very beginning, I'm not a super pro at Davinci Resolve, but I can still make some cool stuff. So if you have any tips you want to add, feel free to absolutely do that. That'd be great as well. So so you should have two video screens here. You have your master, which is all your clips and stuff, and all the JPEGs and everything you drag on the timeline here will show up here. Okay, this is where it's all going to show up in the square right here. Okay. You notice you have a video layer on the left and you have an audio layer on the left. Okay, it's pretty obvious. There's your video and audio, and they're linked right now. And if you click on them, they're highlighted. You can see they're highlighted in red. Here's your timeline video. So if you take this little thing up here, this little tab here, and you just scroll on the timeline, you hear all the awful noise it makes. But then you can scroll along your thing. You see the different video move and all that good stuff. You can see where you are, and yada yada, and make all that lovely noise. Oh. That's probably echoing my microphone right now. Also, if you want to do this as well, you can do this too. You can drag your main composition over into this window right here. And this is a window that's not going to follow along as you go, as you edit your timeline, but you can sit here and play it if you want and scroll through your video and see if you want to change out anything or do anything as you go along. Okay, so this is just kind of like your standard left hand is like your kind of standard video window, and the one on the right is going to follow along as you scroll along the timeline here. Does anybody have any questions so far? You guys following along okay? If you guys aren't, please let me know. I'm happy to slow it down and stuff too. There's kind of a lot to go over here, but Walter, you good? Hopefully you're here. I need more wine. I'm good. Okay. All right. Cool. All right, guys. So yeah, this is where we're at so far. Okay. We're on the edit tab. The edit tab. Got your two video windows right here. You have your window over here that has all your. If you drag in like a JPEG or whatever to the timeline, it'll show up in this window right here, and then you can easily access those files and drag and drop them as you want to, kind of thing. Okay. So right now we're pretty basically set up. Okay. We'll have my video clip in here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start editing. But before we do that, I'll show you guys some other stuff too over here as well. So when you click on the video, on the actual video clip in the timeline down here, okay, you'll end up with this area over here on the right hand side. This is the your video transform button. Okay, this is some pretty simple stuff. Okay, you can zoom in on the video if you want. You can position it differently if you want. You can rotate the video if you want. Pitch and yaw and flip it. Some of the AI stuff you probably won't have available if you do not have the pro version, which is fine. You can crop it. It's super easy to crop. I'll show you guys how to do that here in a second. I'll go through all the transform stuff too and whatnot. I use cropping a lot, especially when it comes to setting up my vertical template that I have built already. You can zoom in. You can change the composite mode. It's like doing the different blends. If you guys ever used Photoshop before or GIMP before, you should be familiar with that. You can change the speed of it, the direction of it, the stabilization. You don't have the camera to shake or whatever. Lens correction, if you want to distort it, retime and scaling. And the AI super scale is really neat, but that's obviously one will not be available to you if you don't have the pro version again. So we're going to go ahead and just look at some of this stuff real quick. So I'm going to zoom in. So if you see, if I play with the zoom, it does all sorts of crazy stuff. Zoom in, extreme close up. You just kind of move your mouse left or right, and you can type in the numbers manually if you want. And you also notice too that before you go further into that, this is set up as a, I think it's set up as a horizontal stream right now. Okay. You notice the black bars on either side of it. Let's say you have a vertical clip like I do here. I'm going to go up to the, I believe it's, and if I can remember right, it's under timeline. Some of the stuff I don't remember. Well, I know how to do it. I just can't remember how to do it. Where was it at? It's working better. Woo, Tori, it's awesome. Let's go. Is it under workspace? Oh my God, I know it. Oh, project set. Go under file, project settings. We'll go over this here in a little bit, but use the vertical resolution. It's if you have a vertical clip like I'm working on right now. Go ahead and save that. Hey, look, the black bars are gone. We're zoomed in a bit more. And we can see it a bit better. Now you can see how actually it's going to look when it's exported vertically. Okay. So you can see here, zoom. If you want to unlink this, you can do Y zoom. You can stretch it, all the good stuff. You want to link it back. The little chain link in between the two. Oh, have you ever used Davinci before, Tori? Is this your first time? I'm totally going to screw all this stuff up, but Here's what it is. Fix this now real fast. Boop. Oops. 1.17. That's better. Okay, now we know really good. So we got that. Got the zoom here. Again, if you zoom it out, now that you have a black bar around your video if you want. It depends on how you want to do it, right? However you zoom. Position it. Position X. I have a bunch to baby. Oh, this is gonna be pretty. This is gonna be a pretty baby course. This is pretty baby stuff I'm going over to really help you out. Can you guys, if you have any questions as I go along, feel free to ask. We're on the third tab right now in Davinci, on the edit tab right now. Also, my fireplace is dripping. That's not good. That's not a good thing. Probably means you have like a hole in your screen on top of the thing or whatever. Probably. So guys, position X, I use this one a lot. You can move the video around. Position Y, you can move it up and down. Again, this is pretty basic stuff. Rotation angle, obviously, if you want to be able to rotate it. Okay, super easy things here. Rotating upside down, or watch a video like that. That'll be permanently crooked, but it works. It's a weekday toy for a problem. Well, as long as I'm not like pouring water in your place, you know, that's not too bad. You can change the anchor points if you want. Anchor point will let you change how the rotation works and stuff like that. All the good stuff. Again, you don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. I don't usually mess with these too much. Back over again. I use the position X and Y a lot and the zoom X and Y a lot, and I'll show you why here in a little bit too. The pitch, woo, Star Wars text, da 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 da. Da. If you want to do that, again, totally up to you. Blah blah blah. How do you want to play with it? This is stuff you guys can't break. Okay, you guys can come in here and play with all the stuff all you want. And the yaw is left and right, stuff like that. Again, not any big deal to come in here and play this stuff, guys, if you want to. You can't break anything in the thing. Of course, the flip is, I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to mirror it. Okay. I'm going to break it just because you said that. Of course you will. The cropping is something I use a lot again, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. The cropping is pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to crop left if you want to cut out some of the video. Crop right, same thing. Crop top, not the clothing. Crop bottom, do not use crops in your butt. And then the softness, if you want to soften it to where you have like you see that little shaded edge around your video now, if you want to do that too, again, totally up to you, how you want to make your video look, whatnot. Feel welcome to experiment, all that good stuff, okay? The composite, this is only going to be useful if you have something underneath it. So like if I change it to color, it's on over black right now. So now it looks like it's over a black, you know, it changes the blending options. This can give you a lot of different ways to make your video look interesting. I don't usually use this very often unless I want something like to have like a transparent. This is saturation. It's red now. It's kind of cool, right? Again, something you can play with. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's just there to play with if you want to. You can change the speed. I won't necessarily go over this, but yeah, just again, stuff you can play with and goof around with and whatnot. Again, you don't have to do any of that, right? The audio tab is right next to the video tab up here, upper hand corner. And this is the volume. You can change the pan. You can do AI, a lot of different AI stuff. Again, this is with the pro version. You can change the pitch. You can play with the equalizer if you want to, or change the speed if you want to as well. Again, things I don't usually mess with that often, but you can go in here and play if you want to. Totally up to you. I play with the volume and for a little bit, and I'll explain what these little things are right next to that here, in a little bit as well. So don't worry about those right now. All right, so we got the video. That's the video and audio settings right there. I'm going to kind of go down here to the tools that are above the video timeline, timeline right down here. So you have the arrow thing is the general selection tool, right? So you just use that to select things. Whee, I'm selecting my video timeline. Woo, that's so awesome. A lot of these tools I don't necessarily use. I don't use the trim edit mode. I use this one a lot though, the blade edit. Okay, this is very self-explanatory. It gives you like a little razor blade icon. Hope you guys can see that down there. But with this, what I'm going to do is that if I want to cut parts of the video out, or if I want to break up the video, I'll click on the area where I want the thing to cut. So again, I've used the razor blade tool to pretty much cut the video, and I'll be able to move it around now. Okay. Now you have two separate video links here. You can move them as you want to. You can put them back together if you want, or you can just undo it if you don't want to do any of that. That allows you to add in, if you like, let's say you want to cut this video up and you want to put in like a JPEG or a picture in between, in between these two video pieces. Now you separate those out. You can import the JPEG into here, into your media files, drag it onto your clip thing, and I'll show you guys how to do that here real fast. So let's see, I have a good picture here, pictures. Here we go. Yeah, I'll go over transitions here in just a sec, Walter, absolutely. So I'm gonna drag a JPEG over here. So now you have the JPEG up here in the upper left-hand corner. This is just a random picture I grabbed. And we're gonna take that JPEG and we're gonna drag it down into the timeline here, okay? So there's the JPEG, all right? So now you have the video transition, or the video, JPEG, moving the video back over again. Transitions, where are we going? And now you have a JPEG in between. So I'm gonna show you guys how this is gonna play out. It's on my, this is on my main speaker, so now the video's gonna play. There's no volume, there's no sound, because there's no sound with the JPEG, right? So now that JPEG is in between the two video clips. And the Davinci is always going to make a JPEG the standard. It's Mr. Chris. It's HE double hockey sticks. Davinci is always going to set a set standard length. The JPEG shows up on screen. That's easy to adjust. Okay. So all you have to do is look at the JPEG here, and you can go to the sidebar here. You can zoom in here a little bit too, so you guys see a little bit better. Does it move a little bit further here? I'll go over the zoom in here in just a sec. You can see now we're a little bit closer to the timeline here. A lot warmer than it is here. Notice that I grab the edge of the JPEG here. There's that little, kind of like a little double white bar that shows up. Just click and drag this to make the JPEG stay in the timeline longer. Okay. Pretty salutory. Now the JPEG's in there a bit longer. I can move the video back over to bump up against it. And there you go. Okay, now you have a JPEG parked in between your two video clips. Why? Who cares, right? But it's in there. A lot of these other commands I don't necessarily use. Snapping is always a good one. Snapping will let you, when it bounces up against the JPEG, it'll just kind of snap up against it. I use that a lot. I keep that a lot. Link clips, we'll go over that here in a second. I'm not going to go over that right now. Position lock, you can lock a video clip down so you can't move it. Okay, so now this video clip is stuck. I can't move it anywhere if I can't automatically, accidentally do, which I've done sometimes. So you can turn that on or off if you want to. And you have the zoom in key right here, the plus or minus zoom in. You can get super, super close in terms of the timeline. You can back way out in terms of the timeline. It depends how far close in you want to work and how specific you want to get on things, okay? Back out here. Walter asked about transitions. Transitions are very easy to use, which is super awesome when it comes to video editing, okay? So right now we have a video clip, we have a JPEG, and we have this other video clip here. Right now, all it does is this. It's going to play, the music's going to go through, it's going to skip to the JPEG, okay? JPEG's going to sit there blocking, just doing its thing. And then when the JPEG ends, it's going to go back to the video and just be an on-X switch like that. Kind of boring, right? Well, thankfully, transitions are very easy to use, all right? They're very easy to set up. So we're going to go ahead and take our selection tool, which again is the left-hand tool above the video timeline here. We're just going and just kind of click and drag. So in the timeline, we're going to click and drag the square. We're going to select all three of these items that we have in the timeline here. You guys, if you have any questions or if I'm going too fast, please go ahead and stop me. All right, I'm happy to slow it down or take more time explaining, okay? So now that you have all three of these things selected, we're going to go up to Timeline, Add Transition. Okay, that's really all there is to it. Timeline, Add Transition. Now, it has added in transitions for us. And these are Davinci defaults on basic transitions, okay? These are, and added them both to the audio and the video. Now, obviously, the audio isn't going to be affected here because it's not transitioning into anything, so it doesn't really matter there. But I'll I'll show you the basic Davinci transition here for the video. So now it kind of fades across into the picture, and it's going to fade out back into the video at the end, okay? Now, if you want to change these, if you don't like the fade in transition, again, Davinci makes it very easy, okay? We're going to click on the transition here. I need to zoom in a little bit more so I can grab it a bit better. Whoops. The only thing bad about zooming in is scrolling. Come back. Oh, no, shit. No, come back. Shit, no. Okay, there's an easier way to do this. So I'm gonna bring the thing over the top of that, and now we're gonna zoom in because it zooms in on where the red bar is. All right, now we've grabbed and clicked on the transition here. You see that little like semi-transparent square that's between over the picture and the video? That's our transition. And we're gonna change it, okay? So on top, next to media pool, we have a little thing called effects. I'm gonna click on that. And notice it has video transitions as the number one thing that comes up under toolbox, okay? Now we can go through and we can change it to whatever transition we want. We can also do it over here on the right-hand side with transition selected. This shows up on the window where, over by the video and the audio section is. We can change it over here too to whatever transition we want. We can change the duration. We can change the frames, aka the speed of it. We can change it to film, additive, subtractive, highlight, shadows, all the different ways you want to go in there and play with it. And again, that transition is always going to stay here. If you want to get rid of it, you can just delete it. It just goes away. You can Alt-Z that, Control-Z that, and bring it back. You can play with it however you want. You can ease it in if you want to. You can transition in. And with the audio, you can do the same thing. You can crossfade it. You can change the duration. You can change the alignment, the fade in, fade out. Again, these things are always easy to play with because it's just going to sit there. And you can go in there and play with it however you want. You can make the transition longer if you want by, again, very similar to the JPEG, dragging the edge of the transition, grabbing the edge of the transition, just dragging it. Okay, it's going to make it bigger. So we're going to use, let's say, cross iris. Now it's going to do a cross iris transition for me instead. That did not work, my bad. Now it's going to cross iris. I never didn't select it, didn't double click it. So cross iris into the video, okay? Pretty cool, right? And again, you can come in here and play with it however you want it, however you want it to be. You can also preview each thing too. So if you drag your cursor over the transition and just kind of move it back and forth like this, you can preview without ever dragging onto your timeline, so you're not wasting your time. So diamond iris, eyeball iris, hexagon iris, all this stuff you can just go through and just kind of take a look at, preview as it kind of goes along. And yeah, it's a really nice way to preview. It makes it really easy. You don't have to worry about putting it in your timeline and going back in and delete shit, blah, 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 spiral, all the good stuff. You can see how every single one of them is going to work without ever having to touch them, which is kind of nice, or drag them into your timeline. All right. So there's transitions. Audio has transitions too. Again, they're very limited, just crossfades, whatnot. We get more of the toolbox here in a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to open up my my vertical template, guys. So I have a vertical template that I build stuff around. I'm going to show you how to like do the cropping and stuff like that, and why and how I work on that. So I'm going to close this project. We go to my vertical template here, and obviously I'm missing video because I don't have it in here anymore. So just get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this for now. I'm going to drag in my other video I was working on. Drag this back in here again. You can drag it right into your timeline, guys. You don't have to drag it into the media pool if you don't want to. You can drag it right into your timeline. So now we're obviously dealing with a lot more layers here, okay? We were dealing with the one video layer and the one audio layer. Now we're adding in more layers, okay? So right now I have my video and audio layer, and this gets a little bit confusing because you can kind of lose things a little bit. Notice how the timelines, you can move the timeline up, give you some more space on the timeline if you want. But when you scroll, or I use my mouse wheel when you scroll, or use the bars to scroll here, you can either scroll the video layers or scroll the audio layers. You can't do both, all right? So it looks like my video 2 over here is like totally missing something. Of course it is, but if I scroll up on videos, my video 3, this is my my color, which is this white bar right here. When I scroll up further, here's my text. When your friends try to buy clothes for you. I'm going to scroll up even further than that. It's my logo. It's parked there the whole time. And we'll get into like the different caption stuff like that here in a sec as well. Everybody following along generally so far okay? Everybody doing okay with stuff? Everybody hanging tight with how everything's working so far? I don't want to get too far ahead. You are? Okay. You guys, if you have any questions, please I'm going to go ahead and delete these real fast because I don't need them right now. Please feel free to ask. Please feel free to stop me, raise your hand, all that good stuff. All right, so now we're going to scroll back down. So I'm going to cut this video down because it's way too long and I don't need it to be this long. So all I want is the cooking portion of the thing, right? So I can see where my cooking thing starts and ends. You can see where the volume kind of stops and ends here. Go ahead and just cut with the razor blade tool again. Scroll over. I can see where my video ends again. We're going to just go ahead and cut about there and delete this other stuff that I don't need. Okay. Drag this back over. Now we're back setting it at the starting point again. Okay. So the video I just want with the upside down monitors there is all set and ready to go. And I'm ready to edit one. Now, obviously with a vertical clip, generally my clips are under a minute. I would not, make it this long. So I'm gonna go ahead and just clip it down a little bit further. So I'm gonna zoom in here and I'm gonna go ahead and just clip it down a little bit further. So just a minute long. So we're gonna start, see the time up here on top of the timeline. I'm gonna go ahead and clip it down to, I don't know, something like this. This obviously will not be what I use, but yeah. You see my giant hand in the window. All right, so now we have our clip that we want to work on, and this is the vertical template I have set up. You guys have seen my vertical videos and whatnot. There's two different sections here. This is how I do it. People can see, you guys, generally how people do it in terms of vertical templates. You guys can set up your vertical template any way you want to. This is why I use two different video, and I'll show you here why in a second. Two different videos in here. So right now my vertical template's set. So I save this, and all I end up doing is deleting the video and audio when I want to make a new clip, and I saved everything else. So my clips in here, I have my white barn here. I got my text that I'm going to be editing over the top of that. I got my logo that's set in here, and my vertical template's ready to go, ready for editing. Okay. So you notice right now that my clip and everything is longer than my white square, my text, and my logo. Okay. So I'm just going to go and grab this again, like we did before, grab the edge of it and just kind of drag it over. And it's going to snap to where the end of my audio is, and that's going to meet the length of my entire clip. Okay. Do the same thing with the text. Drag that on over. The same thing with the logo. Okay. Now everything is set, ready to go, and it's all the same length now. Hello. So nothing's going to disappear off screen or anything like that while I'm playing video. Okay. So there we go. That's what I have right now. This is obviously not quite where it needs to be though, right? Because I have all this other stuff here. I got some weird things that don't want to show up. I want to zoom in on some of the stuff a bit better. This is I think this is where my audio screwed up the first time I was trying this out. Yeah, it is. It's pretty funny. So I want it to look nice. So the white bar is going to be my separator, okay, between the video of me, and this is actually a really bad example because that's okay though, because I don't have the two screens set up. That's okay. I'll show you how I do it. Okay. Usually I have the game up top, zoomed in, and me down below. Right now, when you click on the video clip here and you have the audio clip, they're linked together, right? Well, I don't necessarily want that because I don't need two sections of the audio. So if I cut and paste this whole thing and bring the timeline over here, it's going to cut and paste the video and audio at the same time. I don't necessarily want the audio again, right? So I'm going to right click on this and uncheck link clips. Okay. I only need one audio. So I'm going to get rid of this audio right here. I'm going to take this video, I'm going to drag it up to the video layer 2, and then I'm going to drag it over to stack on top of my second video. Now, why do I do that? Well, I'll show you why. Because I'm going to crop both these sets of video into different areas so I can zoom in on one and have focus on me, and zoom in on the other and have a focus on the game. to where I can do that with both versions of the video. Okay, that makes sense so far what I'm doing there. So now I have 2 layers of video, only 1 layer of sound, because I only need the 1 layer of sound, right? So this video is on top. So think of DaVinci Resolve as layers, guys. You guys have dealt with layers a lot if you're in any form of design or anything like that. Use GIMP or even Canva. Think of everything as a layer. Okay, so you have your video 1 layer, you have your video 2 layer, you have your white box, your logo, text, so on and so forth, and those things are layered on top of one another. So you can play with one, not affect anything else, but as you move stuff around, it's going to be over the top of those layers. So keep that in mind when you're editing here. This video 2 is over the top of video 1. But what I want to do is I want to take the top of the video 2 and zoom into myself. And I want to move it down to where it's below this white bar, okay? So again, we're going to play with the controls that we played with earlier at the very beginning. And we're going to use the position controls over here. So over next to the image here of my video, you notice that the video tab selected and you have the transform boxes up here in the upper right hand corner. We're going to play with position. So we have position X and position Y. Well, I want to take focus in on that square on top there. I'm going to drag it down. Okay. So we're going to take position Y. I'm going to drag it all the way down here. Okay. So now I have position Y down below, but it's still on top of video 1. Okay. And I want to focus this on me. So again, we're going to play with the zoom X now. So zoom X, and kind of zoom X and really, really zoom in on myself. Obviously, we're getting a little out of hand again. So I'm going to take Y. I'm going to take it down. And now we have a nice close-up of me talking. You guys remember, don't forget that vertical videos are smaller. They're usually on phones. So you want to be as zoomed in and make it look as nice as possible without, losing resolution and without making it look really sharp that way. So we're going to kind of play that a little bit. Get that white edge off there, kind of center myself there. And you notice that there's a top here that's above the white bar. Well, you don't want that showing, right? Well, it's easy to take care of. We're going to go to cropping. Down below, we're going to choose crop top, and we're going to just crop that top off to where it's hidden below the white bar now. Now it's gone. Okay? Now you have a nice close-up version of me below this white bar that's going to be focused solely on me as I talk, and people can see me a lot easier instead of without having to zoom in or lose control of the game and when I try to fit both those things on the same screen, okay? Now pretend the top version is the game. So we're gonna click on video clip 1 down below in the timeline here, and we wanna zoom in on that too. So this is the game clip on top here. So again, we're gonna zoom in on X. Obviously it zoomed in way too far. We're gonna move it down, position Y. And hey, now we're focused on the game. This is obviously a bad example, guys. I'm going to center myself again. So now you have it to where you don't have to worry about cropping it all here because it's below video 2, which is the bottom portion right here. So you're all set. Right now you're all set with what you want to do. So this top portion is the game. We're zoomed in nice and tight so people can see it a lot easier. The bottom portion is me talking. We're zoomed in as well as we can on that to make people easier to see it on again, most people watch vertical videos on small screens like your phone, okay? Now we have that. So we're all set. We got the logo set. This is actually almost ready to export. We're almost ready to go here if you wanted to. And it's really that easy once you have a vertical template set up. But to do some of this other stuff, like let's say you want to do a color shape here. DaVinci gets a little weird with this. It's kind of strange, but we're going to go ahead and add in a color shape. Okay, so we're going to add in, go up to effects. This is where we go to generators. Okay. It's on this little toolbox here. We went to video transitions earlier. We're going to click on generators. A lot of different things you can do here. Again, you can preview each and every one of these if you want to. You can add in the weird, TV screen stuff. Right now, we're just going to grab the solid color. I'm going to drag it onto the timeline. There's our solid color right here. Okay. Right now, it's set to black. It's not part of the video in any way. We can go through over to here on the settings again. We can change the color if we want to bright orange for whatever reason. You can change it to any color you want. You can punch in hex codes. If you want, it'll save what color. You can add to custom colors, so it'll save it. All the good stuff. You can change the hue, the saturation, all the good things. You can use the HTML color code. Hell, you can even pick, this is one of my favorite things. You can even pick a screen color. I want to pick this purple down here because why not? It's kind of neat. I love what how DaVinci does that. So we got that, and then we have the settings of it too. So we have the zoom, position X, Y, all the good stuff you guys can play with, and you can set this however you want. So I'm gonna just drag this, since it's not part of the timeline right now, or at least not part of the actual video. I'm gonna just drag this up here. You guys can see where it ends up at. So I'm gonna drag it just up top here. I'm gonna drag it over top of everything else. I'm gonna put the timeline over the top of the square so you can see where it's at. And right now the square is covering everything, right? Well, that's not gonna work. So just for fun, zoom in, out, zoom X out of that, and make the orange square visible on the as the topmost layer. We're obviously not going to keep it there. We're obviously not going to use it, but it's there. You generated a color. Now you can manipulate that color anywhere you want to. You can add in fusion generators, like Chris said earlier, with using cartoon skies or cosmic speed lines or contours. Again, some of this stuff might not be available to you if you don't have the pro version. That's okay. Hey Ray, how's it going, my friend? Good to see you.
Welcome, Ray
Thanks for
underscore
coming
the
by.
underscore pumpkin underscore king. You're meowsome.
All right.
Lol.
How you doing, Ray? Doing okay over there? Again, so we have text. Now we want to add text. Okay, and this is where it's going to get fun in terms of like being able to do like different titles and whatnot. And again, this is all under the toolbox up here that popped up. We went to effects. Okay, so we're going to hit the little arrow next to titles. We're going to click on titles, and again, you can play with all these titles and preview them without ever having to put them into. Hey, Jim, how's it going? Good to see you, Subtitles.
Welcome for me. You're meowsome. Lol.
Appreciate you guys coming by. You guys doing today? Good to see you guys. Welcome in, welcome in. All right. Again, very similar to the effects earlier. Now you can preview the titles that you want to use. Some of them don't have any effects at all. Some of them do. You can see how that works right there. See how the animations there, whatnot, and different titles if you want. You can see how they look differently. Yeah, all the good stuff. Dark box lower third. A lot of different ways to play with this. Let's say you want to add in a title. It's very easy to do. Again, let's say we're going to do digital glitch. Okay. My God, Jim. we're gonna take digital glitch and we're just gonna add it on again. Actually, before we do that, we want to make sure wherever we add things, guys, you want to have your red line here set up to where you don't overwrite anything when you drop drag and drop. So we're gonna take that when it's drag and drop the text onto the timeline. So again, now you have your digital glitch text. Again, you're gonna go over to the video, you can go over to the title, you're gonna type in your sample text, you can change fonts, color, size, tracking, line spacing. Your small text below that, we're gonna type in Gem smells, but has a big penis as a different text here. So there we go. So again, now we played with the text here. We can change the fonts if we want. That's obviously not a font I want to use. Change the size of the font, but it has a big penis. Okay, and also different things here. Again, super easy to go in here, guys, and play with. Super easy to deal with, and then your text is off outside of the video. So again, if you want it on top of the video for whatever reason, we're just gonna drag it up top, scroll it on over, but has a big penis over the top of me. Now I have a big penis, and there you go, and it's part of the video now. All right. So see how that works? All right, that's text. Again, very, very simple to use, guys. Oh, we have an ad break. Wait for ad breaks to end. Hang on.
Please throat meow meow, my adoring fans. The perfect stream will resume shortly. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back before you can say catnip. Lol.
All right. Wait for that break to end here, guys. We'll go into the next couple steps here. Bum bum bum. Hope everybody's doing okay in terms of the weather. Hopefully you guys are not freezing to death. Jim, why do you hate me? I'm gonna make the redeem on that like 50,000 coins. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make the redeem of that gigantic. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna get like 500,000 coins. How about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay. Ugh. Excuse me. Scare with me. We got about a minute and a half left in the ad break here, guys. We'll go back into the thing here in just a little bit. Excuse me. Goodness. Yeah, I'm sure you're sorry for helping. Sure, you're so sorry for helping. I'm sure you're just ecstatic for. Sure, just you feel so bad for helping. What's the score? 7-7. Oh, Patriots about to score. Look out. Better game than I thought it'd be, honestly. Gotta stretch. Stretching. That break's almost over. Take a break and enjoy yourself. Jim, how's your weekend? Oh. Is CapCut desktop to edit behind this? Oh yeah. Yeah, Walter. For what you get for the free version is really astounding. I was making stuff just fine with the free version before I ended up paying for the pro one, because I needed to do some of the AI features for something that was actually a different project altogether. It wasn't even for anything I do for streaming. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome what you get. All right, we're back from ad break, guys. And again, so we've played with titles. You can edit titles any way you want to. It's very, very simple to use. All this stuff is available anytime. You edit like a girl. Oh god, Jem's gonna punch you.
Welcome, Xanacan69. Your meows and lol.
How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Really nicely, I agree. It's going pretty well, my friend. It's going pretty well. Are you part of the I can't remember where you live. Are you part of the giant snowstorm right now? You made me compliment you. Nope. That's good. You guys can come in here and again, very similar to the titles and whatnot. You can add in different effects, filters, blurs, all the good stuff. If you want to, now all this stuff, easy to come in here and play with if you want to. Take people die. That's right. You're in Florida, aren't you? In Florida, or where are you at again? You're in Florida. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. So that's pretty much the video. So now we have a vertical clip, and it's ready to go. Okay, we're all set. We got all of our layers here. But what I like to do with a lot of the vertical clips too is I want to add subtitles. Now everybody can watch video and have the volume playing, so they have to be able to read what you're saying. Okay, in like 60 years. That's good. So believe it or not, Davinci makes subtitles really easy too. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and click on our video down here, or I should say our audio with our linked video down here. We're gonna go to timeline, go to AI tools, create subtitles from audio. Language audio, you can make it whatever language you want to. Subtitle default is fine. You can change how many characters you want per line. You can single lines, double lines if you want to. Gap between subtitles, we'll deal with that here in a little bit. Go ahead and create. And Davinci is going to take care of this for you, believe it or not, which is super incredible. Okay. This is going to go through and it's going to create the subtitles from this video. It's going to analyze everything. It doesn't take very long at all. And now it's gone through and made the subtitles. Now it's not perfect, of course. You guys know how this stuff works. But you guys can see here, it's made its own layer, a subtitle layer up top here that has all the different subtitles in it. You can go through. You probably have to go through and edit these as they're made, and maybe it doesn't always get the words right, so you have to go through and edit some of the words and stuff like that. So you want to make sure you just kind of play through this and make sure it's got the subtitles correct. Now, when the subtitles are in, you can go through and click on one of the captions, I should say. And you go over here when you click on one of the captions, go over here. It'll light up the caption thing over here on the top right hand side here. You can click on track, and you can change the font face, the color, the size. Again, this is just pretty much editing fonts again. You can add in a stroke if you want. You can transform them wherever you want them to show up on screen. And you can do this to all of them at the same time. So you can like just click and drag. I just drag everything, click and drag it all of them. All your subtitles are captured. So now you can edit them all at once and make them do all the same thing and then make them show up in the same spot. You can edit them individually if you want to as well. Super easy to add subtitles. I highly recommend you add subtitles to all your videos that you intend to post somewhere so people can not only hear them, but they can read them as well. All right. Any questions so far on editing the video, guys? Anything you guys want me to look at specifically? I can go into some more of the tabs here in just a second if you guys want me to. I can keep going. If you guys have any specific questions, I'm happy to answer them now. Please feel free to fire away. It's not Christmas time, Jim. Stop that. I need to pull this out of there. I keep forgetting to add this Christmas.com. I think Davinci actually makes it pretty easy. I think editing with Davinci is actually really, really easy. To me, Davinci is way more intuitive than Premiere Pro is, and that's saying a lot because Adobe should be better than that, in my opinion. Especially if you want to do some pretty basic effects, which you can do pretty easily in Davinci. I think Davinci is more intuitive than Premiere Pro is. It's kind of the same thing, but I think Davinci is easier to use. I don't think it's that hard to on making it decent and go easy. You guys, what did you guys think of my 2026 trailer? Did you guys think that was pretty? Do you guys think that looked halfway decent? That was easy to do. That was easy to do. It's not even remotely difficult to do. Come on, Jam, you had to give me a compliment. Yeah, you better not get over here and fish. Walter, do you have any other questions right now? Any specific questions? I'll keep going if you want. I thought my trailer looked pretty damn good, but it wasn't really that hard to put together, guys. It's really not hard to put together. This is my vertical template. You guys can set this up any way you want to. Yeah, orange discus. I love discus fish. They're amazing. You guys all have to ignore all the different red. This is like stuff I can all delete because I don't have it in here anymore. This stuff anyway. Remove selected clips. Anyway, we can discuss discus. They're really expensive fish that are really, really hard to take care of. They're absolutely gorgeous fish. They're absolutely gorgeous if you have like a giant tank. But they're, I don't think so. I'm changing audio for video. Oh yeah. Oh, here's the one. Here's one thing I want to talk to you guys about. So we're going to talk about in my trailer. We'll definitely go over exporting too. In my trailer, you guys notice that when in between each of the clips and whatnot, the volume changed. The volume went up and down. So I had like the transition with the next clip and the volume. And this is the next big thing with Davinci, and the thing that's going to help you out the most
chasing laser pointers.
in terms of being able
to
make things look really good. And that's called keyframes. Okay. Keyframes are essentially little dots that let you change things on specific areas of the timeline that you want to change. And volume is, for me, is probably the biggest one. Okay. So we're going to click on our, come down here and click on our video again, down here. Bring up the audio loader again. Link to video down here. I'm going to get rid of this top one because I don't really need it anymore right now. And so I want to have a transition But I want the sound to be normal in transition, but quieter when I'm talking, okay? And we're going to go ahead and add in some music here real quick. I'm just going to drag some whatever music I have and just toss it in here. Let's see here. So sound, actually, I want the soundtrack. Go. Okay, we'll drag in the Arc Raiders soundtrack. I'm going to drag the Arc Raiders soundtrack in here, or that song I have for it in here. So we don't want, obviously, the Arc Raiders sound to be loud when I'm trying to talk, but we want it loud during say a text transition or whatever like that, okay? Here's how we do that. So I'm going to add in transition first. So I'm going to write in a title or whatever it is between pieces of video, okay? So right now, I'm going to go over here, just make sure this sounds okay. Super loud, but that's okay. So obviously I'm talking here, right? So I'm going to kind of make this cut this out here. We're going to, actually I didn't want to do that one. So now we have it split up here. I'm going to drag this over. Okay. And we're going to add in a random title. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or special. We're just going to throw something in there real fast. Do a digital glitch again and drag it down. Now we have our title in here. Okay, now I'm going to drag the video back here. But see, now the sound's going to be loud when I'm talking, right? Well, we don't want that. Okay, and this is where I think making a really awesome trailer makes a huge difference. Okay, using being able to use keyframes. Okay, and Davinci again makes it super easy. Now you can use keyframes for anything. You can have something crop 1 second and not crop the next, and have a transition between the two of them, which is kind of neat. This is where keyframes are a big deal. Okay, now keyframes are these little the little dots. If you guys go up here in the upper right corner of your screen here, these little dots up here, see these little dots on the right hand side where my mouse cursor is moving? Those are keyframes, or we can put keyframes. Now you can also go over here to the keyframe window and do the same thing. I like using the dots over here on the side next to where I want things to happen and whatnot. Okay. So right now, we want the audio to be loud, but be quiet during the talking, but loud during the transition. Okay. So right now, the volume of this is normal volume. Okay. We selected the volume of the music. We're just going to turn the volume down to where it's at -20. Okay, across the board. So now you can barely hear it, right? But we want it to be loud during this title right here. It's showing up on screen. Okay. This little random glitch thing in here that's on screen. Okay. So what we want to do here is we want to transition between quiet volume to loud and then loud volume back to quiet again. All right. So I'm going to position my little timeline cursor here about where I want that to be. Okay. And I'm going to go click on my audio track. See where the volume's at right now? I'm going to click this little dot. Okay. And I'm going to set a keyframe. Okay. And you'll see that on your screen, on your audio track down below when you do that. Okay. So I'm going to click this little dot. Now when I scroll over, you see this little red dot down here? That's my keyframe. And I can move this around if I want to. I can do different things to it if I really want to set it up at. I'm going to move my timeline a little bit further into the text here. I'm going to click another keyframe. Click that second keyframe. So now I have 2 keyframes. So on the keyframe, where I clicked on that keyframe right there, where I had that little red dot, I'm going to adjust the volume. I'm going to adjust it up. Now see here, down below, the volume went from quiet, increased to loud in that one section, or one of the apps. So right now, over here, it's quiet. Now I've made it loud. Does that make sense on how keyframes work, guys? If it doesn't make sense, please, I'm happy to go over it again. The keyframes make sense. I'm going to do it again over here. So now I want to go quiet again when I'm back to talking. So I'm going to drag the timeline cursor over here. I'm going to hit another keyframe. I'm going to type in back down the negative, I'm sorry, my bad. That was not what I want to do. So I'm going to do a keyframe there, and do a second keyframe over here. Now I'm typing into -20. So now you see here, now you have quiet, louder over the title, quiet, back to where I'm talking. With those keyframes setting here, and you can move those back and forth in the timeline if you want to, depending on how you want to set them. You can delete them if you want to. You want to do something different. all the good stuff. All right, does that make sense with keyframes? Any questions about those? You can do it with pretty much anything. Whether you want something to be in a certain spot on the timeline, to a different spot on the timeline, whether you want like this, say you want welcoming guys to move on the timeline, we could set up to where it's keyframe in one spot and then move it to the next spot, kind of thing. Yes, it does. So I'm gonna take this keyframe right here, the one on the right hand side. I'm gonna shift to the right. Okay. Notice how I'm stretching it out, and it's just making the descent between loud and soft longer, essentially. Makes it super easy to deal with. Okay. Keyframes are really handy. Obviously, you guys saw a lot in my trailer where the music was loud at the start, and then during the titles it was loud, but during the talking in the video it was quiet. All right. If you want to be able to use those, okay. And that's pretty much, generally speaking, that's pretty much the tools I use for timeline editing in Davinci. And that has given me all the titles and all the sound and everything I want to deal with and play with, and makes it super easy. Now you can get more advanced. I'm going to go in here in just a little bit. I'm going to go over here to the next tab over, and that is the nodes. I'm actually not going to go into this. Now, nodes is actually super advanced. You can get really, really fancy with this stuff. Change different things, how things work and whatnot. I'm not going to go into nodes though. Nodes is kind of more expert level DaVinci, but I'm going to go into the next tab over, and that is the fusion panel. Okay, this is the fusion panel right here, and this is where you can create, or the color panel. I'm sorry, you can create masks. You can change color on things. You can do things like that. Now, again, this is pretty complicated stuff, but it's pretty easy to change the color on video. And again, you can add it to where this is where it gets a little weird here. Again, this is where it gets into more into nodes and stuff again, where you can transition from blur to not blur, from color to color. Like I said, very similar to what you dealt with the keyframes, but now you're getting a bit more advanced into the keyframes here and how you switch those stuff back and forth. It's very easy to change color though. So right now you have a picture of my face. You see these little color wheels down here. You can change global colors if you want. I'm gonna change now it's pink, blue, blah, blah. Change the lightness, shadows. Look at that. You can do it to where I can transition from the regular video to the blue if I wanted to via these nodes. And again, this is pretty being here or somewhere else. What do you mean by LUTs? I should probably know that, but I don't know that. What is LUT? I'm a new. Well,
Meow's
stop
loudly
picking on
glad
me.
you asked.
Oh.
Human. How about this wonderful joke? Why can't a bike stand up on its own? It's too tired.
That might actually be under effects. So we're gonna actually go back to cut here. We do effects. Go back to see if we can find LUT. There's a lot of different effects in here. I'm not sure what an LUT is though. Can filter for the entire screen video. There's resolve it. There's a lens. Let's see. There's HSL keyer, Luma keyer, lens flare. There's a lot of different filters in here. I'm not sure what an LUT filter is. Let me take a look here real fast. This out the way. Oh God. Oh God. There we go. Okay. Filter Davinci. Let's look it up here real fast. You can play LUT lookup table filter clips in the color tab. Oh, color tab. Okay, well, it's back in the color tab. So that was back there. By selecting LUT from the list. Let's take a look here. Looks like it's all in this library area right here, Walter. I should drag and drop them. Oh, LUTs. I'm sorry, my bad. Glad you brought that up. Good question. So we actually have the answer to that up here. And on the color tab in the upper left-hand corner, there's a tab called LUTs. Now you can click on all the good stuff. Do different film looks, et cetera, et cetera. You can add in different cameras, which is kind of cool. All the good stuff to it too. We'll take the HDR 800 and add that to it. Now the camera's like, meh. A lot of different things you can play with there. Again, this is more advanced, especially when we're dealing with nodes. This is more advanced effect stuff for usually not stuff I use very often. But I just want to show you guys this. Mostly show you guys how to use it to play with the colors and whatnot down here. Masks and stuff are more advanced as well. But for doing a basic trailer and stuff like that, you really don't have to go into this too far. If you want to, there are lots of different Davinci tutorial stuff online. I'd probably go check those out for sure. There also is the audio tab, which is next. And again, I would not. You can definitely edit audio with Davinci if you want to, but there are many better audio programs out there, especially with Adobe. If you want to edit your audio in very specific ways, you can get really crazy at this. You can add in sounds. I didn't even download a sound library yet. Different effects, change the modulation, the noise reduction, all the good stuff. Stuff you can do on the actual timeline screen if you want to. Adding on different audio transitions and whatnot. Lots of different things you can play here. A lot of different controls in the mixer down here and whatnot. Again, not something I do very often in Davinci, but it is an option if you want to play with the sound. You really can't break anything in this program. You can just go through and just edit stuff up. If you want to practice something, you can clip off an edge on this and play with it and see how it sounds, and not use it if you don't want to. A lot of different things you can play with up here. But yeah, not something I use very often. Now, the big thing that Walter you asked for was the exporting. Okay. As you can see here, my timeline is ready set to be exported here. It's all got the whoops. There we go. It's following the entire audio clip all the way to the end. The video obviously cuts off, way over here. So it's ready to export, essentially. You can change the file name, where the location's going, the single clip, and the video format. Now, I still use MP4 H.264. It's the most compatible file format around at the moment. I have not used H.265 yet. It is a newer one, but you can export in all sorts of different kind of formats if you want to. But MP4, as you guys know, is the most common video format that is compatible across the board with most things. Okay, that's where I generally stick to. Timeline resolution, you can change the timeline resolution if you want to. I keep it on the actual what it was coming in. The frame rate the same way. All this other stuff, quality, all the good stuff. You guys can play with that as you want. The big thing with the subtitles is that you don't want to make sure you definitely check that you're using subtitles. You want to make sure you burn it into video. Otherwise, when it exports, it'll export the subtitles as a separate file. It gets really weird. You don't want to do that. Make sure you just burn it into video. When you export, make sure you have that selected to make sure it gets into your video. Otherwise, it's not going to export with them. It's going to be really weird. Yeah. Again, audio, you can play with the audio if you want. I don't touch anything here. Use standard codecs and whatnot, custom names, all the good stuff, whatnot. But MP4 H.264 is my standard export encoder. That's what I use. You can use wherever you want, though. You don't have to stick with that. Lots of different formats here. MKV is what I brought in from Twitch. So it's totally up to you. Totally up to you how you want to play with that. Let's see here. Anything else? I really use a lot in Davinci. But I really don't think so. I think that's really about it. Do you have any other specific questions, Walter, you want to ask? Anybody else have any specific questions they want to ask in terms of how to edit clips and stuff like that in Davinci? To me, it's pretty easy to get into and here, come in here and play if you guys, but I'm happy to go over stuff again if you want me to go over anything again. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to throw out questions. Obviously, I'll save this video. So you guys can reference it again if you want to. Or if you have any questions after this, you can ask me in Discord if you want to as well. Yeah. Nothing else for me? Okay. It all makes sense? Everything come across okay? Do you feel confident being able to go in here and edit and whatnot? My biggest thing that I often forget is make sure you have the red bar here on the timeline where you want it to be at, so you don't erase anything when you import stuff and whatnot. Also, if you want to zoom in on something specific, just move the red bar to that specific area so the zoom will follow that around. It's easy to sometimes forget that you have to scroll to see all your video layers. Sometimes you think like, oh, my video layer's gone, but it's really not gone. Just you haven't scrolled to it. Yeah, I mean that's how I use Davinci. Yeah. Again, happy to answer any questions, guys. Anybody else got anything they want to add? Got a little bit of time left. You guys want to play? You guys want to see me play? Happy to go into anything right now. If nobody has any other questions. Is that not going to punch you in the face? You do the thing. Anyone wants to see any specific games? We got some. I think that'll be it for Davinci. Again, just kind of going through and all the stuff that I use and some of the basic stuff you can easily make really cool things with. It's not a difficult program at all. It looks intimidating, but it's really not. Difficult. There's a lot you can get super fancy with it if you want to. Like Walter said, they use this thing to make movies with, and a lot of different things you can do to it. Yeah, if you want to get, but generally using like JPEGs and your video that you record from Twitch and stuff like that, pretty easy to go in here and edit if you want to, and make trailers or make clips. Yeah. All right. Woo! Okay. Cool, guys.